Hello everyone, my name is Kate Marshall. The name of this channel is called Inked Paper Art. Today is day 23 of 365 days of junk journal ideas. We're going to be making some basic bead dangles today. I will walk you through the process, so even if you have never done beading at all in your life, you'll be able to make these bead dangles by the end of the video. This bead video is basic. We will work through more progressive, advanced beading techniques as the year goes on, but I figured I would start out with the basics. So tool supplies for today, you're going to want some kind of jewelry tools. These are very inexpensive if you go on Amazon. I'm going to link everything I'm using today in Amazon. You're going to want some kind of wire cutters, preferably these little snips for jewelry. A pair of pliers is good, just a regular pair of pliers. And then you really need one of these rounded pairs of jewelry pliers to make good, nice loops with. So these are very basic and very inexpensive tools. You're going to also want some jump rings. These are little different size jump rings. Again, all of this is very inexpensive. These beads are from Hobby Lobby. They come in these trays just like this, and they are $8.99 or thereabouts. So there's a variety of different ones of those. You've got pearly ones, you've got shiny ones, matte colored ones, and then you also are going to, it's up to you, but if you want to do a little bit more embellishing, there are all different kinds of jewelry components in here. I like to work with the antique bronze color. It's my favorite because I do antique and vintage style junk journals. But I've got bead caps, I've got spacers, all different kinds of spacer things in here, some other various supplies. You can use eye pins like I'm going to use today, or you can use jewelry wire. It's up to you, however you want to do it. There's charms off in this little component. We'll get to charms hopefully by the end of the video. And so there's those, and you move those off to the side. What I'm going to start out working with today are eye pins. These are eye pins. This kit is from Amazon. They come in a variety of different sizes, lengths, and finishes. Eye pins have the circle at the bottom. That's why it's called an eye pin. It kind of looks like an eye, right? So those ones are the ones I'm going to be playing with today. I will get out a couple of them just so hopefully, while we're here, we can have some fun. And then from there, you're going to want your beads. Again, you pick whatever beads you want. I have this little cup of, it's Valentine's Day mix, so it's red and pink beads. And so I like to put all my little beads in the lid of it just so they don't go all over my desk. It's also advisable if you have an old cookie sheet or some kind of old tray with a lip on it, you could work in there. That way, if you drop beads, they don't roll all over your craft room. And then I'm also using these little seed bead tubes from Hobby Lobby. These go 50% off, so they're like $2 for the whole entire thing of small little beads. And so I've got a couple here in the little tray. I'm just going to pour a couple more in there so we have some more to play with. And then from there, I put a couple of little things in here. We're just going to start building. What you want to do is you want to take your eye pen. If you're not using an eye pen and you're just using jewelry wire, you're going to roll yourself a loop at the bottom. I'm going to roll a loop at the top of this one, so you'll figure out how to do it either way. But I'm going to use the eye pen, and I'm going to put the eye at the bottom, and I'm going to hold it in my fingers. Then I'm going to layer up my beads. And so the way that I'm going to do it today, you could put as many beads or as little beads as you want to put on here. You could start out by putting just one bead on a bead dangle, and that would be totally fine. I'm going to go ahead and layer up a couple of beads in a couple of different finishes and sizes. I think that these little bead dangles look the best when you have a variety of materials like metals and pearls and regular glass beads on your bead dangle. And so I've started out with a little pearl, then I've got a metal bead here, and then I've got a glass bead with a different finish. And so they're different sizes. You can do however you want to do, but I'm just going to repeat that same process. So when you build one like I'm doing, you start at the bottom and you build your way up. And then when you put your focal point, your center bead on, you work your way back. So see how I have this metal one next to the pink? So that means I would put another metal bead. If I have another metal bead right there, another metal bead on, and then I will put another little pearl on, and then we will call this one done just because this is a basic video. So that's going to be our little bead dangle. And so I will show you how to finish it off and add the charm and all that kind of stuff. And so the first thing that you want to do to finish this off is you want to take this wire that's sticking out of the top of your bead, and you want to take your rounded pliers and grab it, push all your beads down to the bottom, and then grab it right there at the top of that bead. And I can't really hold it and show you, but I'll try. Grab it at the top of that bead, and you want to bend that while holding your beads at a right angle. So a 90-degree angle, as best as you can do there, a 90-degree angle. And that just makes that wire come all the way out like that. A 90-degree angle. Mine's a little more bent than that, but a 90-degree angle is what you're looking for right there. Okay. And so then when you've got your 90-degree angle, thereabouts, you want to trim off your wire. It's just, I know how far to trim it, but after your 90-degree angle, you're going to want maybe 1/4 of an inch. I like to keep my little extra wire bits that I cut off in a tray just so they don't end up all over my room. So after your 90-degree angle, that right angle right there, you start with your rolled edge little pliers. Start at the end, grip it at the very end of your wire and roll it. You're halfway there, and then pick it up and grip it again and roll it the rest of the way, all the way down tight onto your bead. And so after you've rolled it, you're going to end up with another little eye down here at the bottom. So we've got it like this now. Give it a little straighten. Sometimes you need to straighten. So you ended up with a loop that you made yourself on one end and a loop that came with it on the other end. The next thing that you want to do is you want to make sure that your loops, it's not a necessary thing, but I like to do it. I want to make sure that my loops are both facing the right direction. So I hold the bottom loop in my hand and I just twist around that top loop and make sure that they're facing the right direction. This wire is bendable, so from time to time you might need to straighten out your little bead dangle and make it straight. So there's one. I made one earlier too. So we have a couple little pink, white, and antique brass ones. So let's see if we can do another one, and then maybe we'll put a charm on. So I've got another wire here. Let's do something a little bit different this time. Let's start out with, what do I have in here? Let's start out with a pearl. So we're going to load it up. I've got that eye down at the bottom, little tiny pearl. And then I'm going to go with one of these. It's just like a little crystal bead. It does have a name, but it's escaping me for the moment. So a little crystal bead there. And then I'm going to put this pink pearl. Let's do this guy, the darker pink pearl there, a pink pearl. And then we're going to add that little crystal bead again, because remember, you got to work your way back out. You don't have to, but I like symmetry. So there we go. And then we've got our pearl bead. So now our beads are all layered up on there. We've got the eye at the bottom. We're going to take this wire that's sticking out up here at the top. I've pushed all my beads down to the bottom and they're snug there. And I'm going to hold them snug. And I'm going to take those rounded pliers and I'm just going to grip right at the top of that top bead. And I'm just going to bend my wire at about a 90-degree angle. That one bent much better for me, right at a 90-degree angle. That's probably still just a little bit too much wire. So let me show you how much I'm going to trim off. Got to hold your beads so they don't slide off, but I'm just going to trim a little bit, just a little bit right there. There we go. And then take your rounded pliers again, grip the end right there where you just cut off a little bit of wire, grip it if you can, and then turn it halfway so it looks like that. Right now it just looks like a hook, and then you grip it again and roll it on over to itself again. So you're kind of rolling that top one over all the way onto itself. And right now it looks like this. It needs to be straightened out just a little bit. That's it there. It just needs straightened out a little bit. And that's where I take these pliers, the regular ones, not the rounded ones, and I hold that eye at the bottom. And here I just straighten this one out and make sure that they're lined up. My bead is done and we're good. You don't have to make your bead dangles as long as this. You could literally just use a single bead if you want to. Now let's go ahead and attach a charm to one of these. Using jump rings, there is a trick to them. So a jump ring is a little round circle that the wire is cut. There, it's actually cut. This little circle is cut. You want to find where the circle is cut. I don't know if you guys will be able to see, but you can see right there it's cut. Find where it is cut, and this is where having two pliers comes in handy. Grab one side of that with the cut facing to the top. Grab one side of that wire, then grab the other side of that wire with another pair of pliers and twist one side of the wire towards you, just a little bit, enough to open it. So now that wire is open and it doesn't look like a circle anymore because I've twisted one side towards me. You never want to pull your jump rings apart. You want to twist to the back and to the front. Always do not ever pull them apart, because if you pull them apart, they will never go back together again and be perfectly straight. Always twist one side to you or away from you. So then you're going to take your bead dangle. It doesn't matter which loop you attach this to, because in reality you would probably put two jump rings, one on each loop. So then just take one part of your loop and get it onto your jump ring. See if I can do it. I had too much coffee today to do a beading video. So after you have your bead dangle over your jump ring, I just slid the loop over the open part of the jump ring. Then this is where it comes in handy to have two sets of pliers again. You're going to then close your jump ring by twisting it back together. So it's twisted away from you to open and back together to close. And then right there you can see they don't really close all the way perfectly all the time. Sometimes you're going to have to take a pair of pliers and just kind of push the two pieces together just a little bit, just gently. That's all I did. And now my ring is completely on there and it's closed. So you normally would also put a charm on there. For now, I just left this end with a jump ring because I'm not sure what I'm attaching it to. Maybe I want to attach it to one of those garment pins or something like that. So at least it has a jump ring there. Let's go ahead and do this process one more time. You guys will be able to see it again. So find where the jump ring opens, pick it up, hold it where the jump ring opening is to the top. Then take your second pair of pliers. Sometimes you can just hold the other half of it with your fingers. Sometimes you don't need a second pair of pliers. Depends on how big your jump ring is. Hold it, grab it with the other half of it. So I've got one set of pliers on one side of the opening, one set of pliers on the other side. No more coffee for beading videos. This time we're going to put our jump ring on. So I twisted it open. We're going to put our jump ring on, if I can. Goodness, no more coffee. And we're going to grab a charm. So for me, for charms, let's see, there's a crown sticking out right here. Let's go ahead and stick a crown on this one. It's laying in that bowl that's sitting up there. That's what all those goodies are in the bowl. This little bowl right here, it just has all kinds of goodies in it. It has charms. It has all kinds of crystals from chandeliers and some random beads and whatever. Here's a different kind of little heart. The heart would be better for me because this is going to be a Valentine's Day one. So now I'm being picky and we're going to choose our heart and we're going to put our heart on there. So your charms will have an opening for you to be able to add them with a jump ring. So there's that. There's little keys in there I just saw. All kinds of fun things in that bowl. So then we have our jump ring on and we put our charm on our jump ring and we're going to grip that jump ring back with the two sets of pliers and we're going to twist them together. So from front to back so that our jump ring is closed. And then we're going to take that pair of pliers, the flat ones, not the rounded ones. And I just like to squeeze it, just give it a little squeeze at the top. And sometimes you might need to just push side to side just to kind of close that up a little bit. But this is what we made. It's got a whole a jump ring at the top so that we can attach it to something. And it's got its little charm down at the bottom. So that's what we did today. Doing some little bead dangles. I don't know if I can find a little garment pin in here. Maybe I can find a garment pin. There's a little paper clip. We could stick it on a paper clip too, so it doesn't have to be a garment pin. But this is one of those tiny little Tim Holtz I can get it on there. This is a tiny Tim Holtz paper clip, so it can dangle off of the side of a page with a paper clip. There is garment pins in here somewhere. I don't know where, but somewhere. I don't know. I'll have to dig, but there's some in here somewhere. There's all kinds of things in this bowl. Some costume jewelry, like little button things. Here's a regular eye pin in here. There's more charms in there. All kinds of goodies. Anyway, I'm gonna play with some beads today, and I'm going to make a couple more of those. So now I actually have like a set. I have this one with the pearl, and I have two additional ones that could go hanging off some lace on the side of a journal. It's a little bit hard to see that they're pink because of my skin, but this is what I'm doing today. They're just simple little bead dangles. If you guys want more information on bead dangles, next month, the month of February, I will be doing a series on beading for junk journals where we can spend more time and dive more deep into this kind of a topic. So if you guys want to come on over on a Friday night craft with me, it might be Friday night, Saturday morning for beading, probably Saturday morning for beading because we're doing the journal kit for the month of February. But anyway, we'll dive into beading a little bit more also throughout the year. I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Thanks so much for joining me. I hope you guys have a great day.